Welcome back to my channel where we are doing Makeup 101, back to basics. Every step in our makeup routine has its own video. Today's foundation. So, let's talk foundation. There's a lot of different foundations on the market. There is cream, there's powder, there is liquid. I'm sure they're gonna come out with even more types of foundations. And everyone has their own preference. I'm not a powder foundation person, but for sheer coverage and oil absorption and all of that goodness, like if you don't have dry patches on your skin, oh, powder foundation might be good for you. Like if you're just looking for something that's quick, easy, you can dust it all and call it a day, powder foundation might be your jam. Okay, cream foundations, they tend to be thicker, have a little more coverage. They're like a cross between a powder and a liquid. So they're usually medium coverage. They usually dry down matte. And then there's like those weird jelly consistency ones. I'm not even going to speak to those because I haven't used them. Yeah, we're just going to pretend they don't exist for this video. And then you have liquid foundations. Liquid foundations can range anywhere from sheer coverage, and those tend to be more like your BB creams. Perfect example is the CoverGirl Skin Milk. Super sheer coverage. It's almost like a just tinted moisturizer. And then you have your more full coverage, your Fenty, your Huda Beauty, those kind of foundations. They tend to be pretty thick. Becca, a 24-hour foundation, they tend to be pretty thick, but they have great coverage. So a foundation, when it comes to picking your foundation, first you need to know your skin undertones. A great way to tell is your veins. Can you see your veins? Mine are like blue-green, so I have neutral undertones. If you can't, you tend to have a darker complexion, and like there's all kinds of ways to find your complexion. I'm not going to speak to all of them. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, and I'm sorry, but you want to find your undertone before you go foundation shopping. Next, what kind of skin do you have? Do you have dry? Do you have oily? Do you have mature? Do you have combination? Or do you have acne prone skin? All of these go into picking a foundation. Now let's talk about your finish. We have a natural finish, which is more around that satin. It's gonna look like your skin. You have a dewy finish. It's gonna look like your skin in the summertime when you have just a hint of sweat. And you're glowy. It's not really sweat, you're just glowy, like you've been in the sun. Then you have your matte, your blank canvas foundation. So dewy is great for if you have dry skin or if you have combination skin leaning on the dry side. If you have acne prone skin or oily skin, you kind of want to stay away from the dewy, luminous foundations. If you have oily skin or combination leading oily, that's where you want to go matte. Now, if you have mature skin, this is where it gets tricky. If you have mature skin, and forgive me, ladies, I have them, it's okay. But if you have forehead lines, or you have lines right here, or you have those smile lines, we all have them, you kind of want to stay away from these super thick matte foundations, because those foundations are going to be what settles in those lines. I would say go more of a dewy finish, but hear me out. What I honestly say to go with, and I tell my mom this, go with a natural finish, like a Too Faced Born This Way, or a Smashbox 15-hour hydrating. Even the Maybelline Fit Me has some nice lines around there. So there are tons of foundations out there, and I did the legwork, guys, for every skin tone, or not a skin tone, but for every like skin type, I found 3 foundations. Okay, I had people tell me about these foundations, why they like them and all that. So we're gonna go step by step, skin by skin, and we're gonna talk about them. So for dry skin, I have combination skin leaning more on the dry side. And I agree with one of these for a fact. I love this foundation. The first is the IT CC foundation. I'm not a big fan of IT's products. They have a setting powder that I love. But as far as like their foundations and their concealers, their foundations tend to be a little too thick for me. My mom has used the IT CC cream foundation, and you know what? It looks stunning on her. And she does have drier skin. She's more combination oily, depending on the season. Like if it's winter, she's more combination dry with mature skin. If it's in the summer, she's more combination oily with mature skin. So the IT actually worked wonders for her. One that I've heard about a lot and never tried is the Dior Backstage foundation. I've heard it has great, okay, let me rewind here. The IT does have amazing coverage. It's pretty thick, so you don't need a lot. A little will go a long way, and it covers amazingly. Now we have the Dior Backstage. I've heard amazing things about it. I've heard it is more of a medium coverage, and it's very liquidy, so you can build it. And then we have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion, which is what I have right here. I love this foundation. It is a luminous foundation with a more, it's a weird foundation. It's not super luminous, so it leans more towards the natural satin side, which I love. And then it's a medium coverage, so it is buildable. A++. Combo Skin, Fenty Matte. I haven't used it, so I'm not gonna speak to it, but obviously it is one of the most popular foundations. I have seen it in action, and it has amazing coverage. The L'Oreal Infallible Matte. I have used that. I did not like that. That was way too thick for me. Actually, what I prefer instead is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. Medium coverage, buildable, affordable. And then there's the Too Faced Born This Way. I have used the Too Faced Born This Way. I do really enjoy the Too Faced Born This Way. That's one of those like natural finish foundations. It's a medium coverage. It's very buildable, and it also works for mature skin because my mom has used it as well. Okay, so for acne prone skin, Clinique has an acne line. It's the Even Better Acne Clearing. If you're gonna go with a acne formulated makeup product, make sure you are cross-checking your ingredients, because you don't want to get an ingredient in your foundation or your concealer or your primer or any of that. Really, you don't want to get in an ingredient that is going to aggravate whatever else you're putting on your skin. So make sure you do some research on that. Neutrogena has a skin clearing one. I have used that. I used to have really bad acne. I have used it. It does have pretty decent coverage. It's like a medium coverage. I don't recall the finish, but best way to put this, when it comes to acne, less is more. You got to keep in mind when you have, we'll say, when you have like a pimple, it's technically an open sore, especially if it pops. You're gonna have to clean everything that touches your face. So keep that in mind. Less is more. Trust me, I know it is hard to be like, you know what? Screw you, Blake. I'm putting lots of makeup on, and I totally feel that. I understand that. It wasn't until I started really taking care of my skin that I noticed my acne was bye-bye. I still get breakouts. I'm not perfect, trust me. And then the Becca Skin Love line for acne. I've heard great things about that. It's like a light to medium coverage, and it's buildable. So and it has like hyaluronic acid and all of that goodness that's just good for your skin. So, mature skin. My mom has used 2 of these. She's actually using one now. The NARS Natural Radiant line. She loved it. I loved it. Everyone I've ever met that uses it loves it. It's a nice natural finish. It's a medium coverage. It's buildable. And your skin just like soaks everything in. It does have a nice luminous finish, but not too luminous. It's like it's natural. It's pretty. Oh, the Tarte Babasu. Okay, so my mom is using that now. She is on her 3rd bottle. She loves it. It has skincare ingredients in it. It has a nice medium, easy to build coverage. And you know, a little has gone a long way for her, so I know she likes that. L'Oreal True Match. I have used their Luminous line, the True Match Lumi, and I did like it. It's more of a light coverage, very buildable. Their Lumi line is. I don't know their like OG True Match line, but I did actually really enjoy the Lumi line. So for oily skin, we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I've heard great things about it. It is pretty matte, so keep that in mind. It does have, it says it's a medium coverage. It's closer to a full coverage. It is buildable. I do know that, but keep that in mind. And it is very long lasting. Makeup Forever Matte Velvet. Now that is a matte foundation, just so you know. It says it in the name. It does have a nice finish to it. It is matte, but it's not so matte where you're like, oh, my face hurts, I can't move. It's trying to lead more towards like a satin finish. It's very nice, I will say that. It is very nice. The Maybelline Fit Me Matte. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the Fit Me line at all. It's nothing against Maybelline. I've used a good bit of their products and fallen in love. The Fit Me line is just not my jam. I know a lot of people swear by them. The Fit Me Matte, a friend of mine uses, and she loves it. It has a medium coverage, a matte finish, and their color range is amazing. I will give them that. I'm not a big fan of Maybelline. They aren't cruelty free, so that kind of for me. For dewy skin, Physicians Formula has a few foundations actually. They have one called Healthy Glow. I think that's what it's called. I just wrote healthy. And I will say there's been very few products I've ever tried from Physicians Formula where I'm like, ooh, go away. And the only product that was like when they first came out with the butter highlighters. That was the first time I was ever like, ooh. But other than that, I've never tried a product from them I didn't like. The Healthy foundation does seem to be light medium coverage. You are going to have to build it if you're looking for full coverage. Those full coverage foundations are going to be those matte foundations. So look for a medium foundation. Those are going to be more along your lines of your natural finish, your satin finish. The dewy foundations are going to be on the lighter side, but they're also going to usually be easier to build. So keep that in mind. Again, NARS Natural Radiance for dewy skin. NARS is, I haven't tried a NARS product where I was just like, I love everything I have tried from them. They are a great makeup company. Clinique, I used to swear by Clinique. I really did. This is the Even Better Glow. Even Better Skin Glow. For the longest, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but it was their foundation and concealer in one. And I loved that. A lot of their products are that medium coverage, but it builds amazing. And they're just, your skin just wants those ingredients that are usually in their products, and I love it. And then for a matte finish, we have the Huda Beauty Faux Filter. I have tried the Huda Beauty Faux Filter. I do not like it. It is too thick. It is too matte. But the coverage is there. Like, it's clean slate, baby. Also, it's too scented for me. I can't. The Fenty Matte. All right, Fenty's doing everything right. Like, there's not a product I have played with in Sephora and I'm just like, no, get it away. That foundation is coverage, but it's also very matte. They do have a hydrating one now, so if you're looking for that coverage, try that. And then the NYX Stay Matte. I haven't tried it, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really tried any of NYX's foundations. I have tried some of their concealers and I do like them. And I've tried some of their blushes and I like them. But as far as like foundations go, I kind of stick with what I know. Like Wet n Wild has a great foundation. Flower Beauty has a great foundation. Smashbox has an excellent foundation. And NARS, like, I stick with what I know. All right, so for your natural finish, these are going to be medium coverages, very buildable, excellent shade range. Too Faced Born This Way. I don't really support everything that has come out of Too Faced's mouth, but y'all, that Born This Way, it is a great finish. It looks like skin. Their shade range is impeccable. They just, and then there's the finish, and then the coverage, and then the fact you can build it for more. It's just, yes. Smashbox, the 15-hour hydrating, love it. I went through 2 bottles before I was like, I need to step out of my comfort zone, try something new. And again, Maybelline Fit Me, the original. Again, not a fan of the Maybelline Fit Me, so sue me. Okay, so now that we have talked about the foundations, let's talk about application. So we have foundation brushes, which I don't use. I don't like the way brushes work. And then we have sponges. Now there's a lot of types of sponges. I have 3 right here. I have the Juno & Co., which is like a microfiber sponge, and it gives you a nice finish. I have the Morphe sponge, which I love. That's my baby. And then I have the Luxie sponge. There's a powder one, a concealer one, and then like they're just overall face one. For the sake of this video, we're gonna do 2. One side is gonna be this, one side is gonna be this. Now, foundation time. I am going to go in with, I'm gonna create my own foundation here. I'm gonna take some Flower Beauty Light Illusion in the shade Ivory. And then I'm also gonna go into some Buff Bisque from Wet n Wild. I love mixing these. The coverage is there, and then like when I mix them, it provides my perfect shade. So I'm just gonna use my finger here and apply this all over. And if I need to make more, I will. All right, so on this side, we're gonna do the Juno & Co. And I have already dampened my sponges. And then you always want to damp, if you are applying with a sponge, you always want to make sure it's damp. That way it doesn't absorb all your product. And I'm gonna need to bring this down my neck here. Just to make sure we match. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of avoiding my eye area. Not really about the life of applying foundation on my under eye. Okay, so this is with the Juno & Co. It doesn't really absorb any product. It presses it into the skin very nicely, and I do actually really like that sponge. Now we're gonna go in with the Luxie on this side. Now the Luxie will absorb a little bit of product, as you can see, but it also presses it into your skin nicely. And in all seriousness, I kind of feel like with the Luxie, it's not as full coverage, it's not as seamless, it's not as smooth. See what I mean? I feel like this side has a little more coverage. And I'm sure it's because this one doesn't retain as much water as, say, the Luxie does. So it's not weakening that foundation per se. But they both do give pretty nice coverage. I'm just gonna even out my face a little bit, just in the center. But as you can see, they both give a very nice coverage. When you are using a beauty sponge like this, you are going to get more of a dewy finish because you are pressing a damp sponge onto your face. Do I think the difference is super obvious? No. Is it to me? Yes. But that's because I'm literally staring in the mirror. One thing I do really love about the Juno & Co sponge is, as you can see, it has literally absorbed little to no product. It is pressing that product into my face. Okay, so we are done with foundation. I hope I helped you guys out a good bit. I hope you really enjoyed this video and all of that goodness. I'm gonna go. We're gonna work on our next video, which is concealer. And I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, and I'll see you soon. Bye.